Welcome, beautiful people. I'm your host, Lenny Harold, and you are now listening to Cosmic Radio. What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in to Cosmic Radio. You know how we do already here. We're going to jump right into things. And today we have a special guest. His name is Zook, and he is an upcoming artist. And we're going to jump right into things. So, Zook, how are you doing today, sir?
Listen, I'm doing great. I'm so blessed and honored to be here with you. So, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I had my Monday motivation yesterday, so I listened to it again today to get me ready.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You know what? I figured, you know what? Let's do something that uplifts people too as well. You know what I mean? So I was like, every Monday, let's start off the week with something uplifting to encourage everybody, to keep them going. If they need to go back and play it again, that's what it's all about. So I'm happy that you found some goodness in that. You know what I mean?
Indeed. And I'm feeling cosmic today. I had my, had to wear my hoodie today.
Okay.
So we got to, win and
show
roll.
The people. Show the people.
Mm-hmm. Nice Heather Gray going on. Because I'm cosmic. On Cosmic Radio.
Okay.
Going up on a Tuesday. Hello?
Okay. I love it. So it sounds like you're having a pretty good day so far today, right?
I am.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm all right today. You know what I mean? I've been doing some back end work, you know what I mean? Making sure I was getting some stuff right, making sure we good for today.
Okay.
Working on some little side projects, had to make some major decisions today. You know, I had to leave some opportunities because it was just going to be a little bit too much on my plate. You know, being grown up, being a grown up.
You will not be a bag lady on today.
Listen.
You gotta move to that door nice and light.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm also thinking that this sweater was a bad choice because now it's starting to get hot in here. So,
you know how we do.
You know, I might have to go turn on some air or something to open up this window right here, but it's gonna mess up my lighting. But we're gonna keep it cute.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep it cute. So we're gonna jump right into this. You are an upcoming artist, and we are going to discuss like what it's like to be an upcoming artist and the successes, the wins, the challenges that you go through. And then, at the end of the show, we're going to play a little game because that's what we do here.
Oh, snap. Okay.
I don't tell nobody until they actually get online.
It's the bamboozling hoodwink for me.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I'm ready, though.
So tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I am from North Carolina. I'm a country boy, as y'all can tell. I've been singing most of my life. I remember singing at however old I was, whenever No 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 by Destiny's Child came out. I was running that tape back and forth. But so it's been all my life, and I really enjoy performing. And in high school, I did a lot of musical theater, and that's kind of where I really developed the love of performing and interacting with other people, putting on a different persona, and just really giving all that I have in that moment, because once you hit the stage, it's all or nothing. You can't really hold back. So
you can't hide behind that studio.
Oh, listen. But listen. So, and also dealing with the elements, dealing with your voice not always being up to par, and learning how to take care of your voice, and all of that I learned over the years. But really, I've been performing. I've always wrote my own music. I've always been that person trying to be in groups and stuff in high school, and always been the one writing the songs, trying to look for the beats, and everybody else ain't. But that was me.
Talk about it.
That was me. So I was like, maybe I should do this thing solo. But I really didn't start taking it serious. Honestly, maybe 2019, 2020, I was like, okay, I'm really, really ready, because I did a little bit when I was a teenager, but I didn't really have much to talk about. So I kind of had to live life.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
No, I
and
appreciate that.
yeah, and try to
Yeah, and your audience is going to appreciate that too.
most definitely. So I have
Yeah.
things to talk about now. Whole lot of things to write about. So that's been a challenge, and yeah, so that's basically me in a nutshell as an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a piggyback real quick. What was it about music that drew you in? Like, what is it that excites you?
Oh goodness, it's I don't. I've always been excited to hear different tones.
Mm-hmm.
It was all my mom listened to a lot of music since I was, and I was growing up. So I was used to hearing different things, different voices within R&B, of course. But as I gotten older, it was just different sounds and instrumentation and the way people use their voice as an instrument. It always that excited me. Good singing, no
Mm-hmm.
matter
Mm-hmm.
what the genre is.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what excites me. And like live instrumentation, whatever. If I hear it on the record, and I'm like, I can definitely hear that live. That's what excites
Mm-hmm.
me.
Got you. What are some challenges? Because you said that you're taking some time right now to, are you looking for your direction? Are you looking for your soundscape? Or, what's going on in this development of Zook before he actually releases some music? What's going on? How are you creating?
Right now, definitely, it's making sure that whatever uh, I come out with sonically, it
Mm-hmm.
is cohesive and it really embodies what I feel. What young Zook would have liked and loved and looked up to is the music that I want to be making. Um, and so it's important for me. For the most part, I know my voice, but for the
Okay.
most part, making sure that whatever I'm singing sonically, it sounds exactly the way I want it to sound and it's authentic to who I am. Not just as an artist, but as a person. Um, and so
Beautiful.
right now it's just the learning process. I'm
Yeah.
learning and trying to soak in as much as I can. Recording techniques, writing styles, um, and getting back to performing because performing is what really made me learn my voice, helped me to learn my voice,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and the different facets of it that I didn't know
Okay.
things I didn't know I could do, and then
Yeah.
translating that into recording. So it's been a slow process, but I'm not trying to rush it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of where I am now, and just
Okay.
writing as much as I can.
I love it. I love it because I just recently did an episode about planning and being strategic as an artist and taking your time to develop your sound and doing those things that are trial and error. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
to, so that you understand who you are, but it's also self reflection. It's about what you actually like and what actually fits well for your voice because sometimes those things can run hand in hand
Oh,
and
listen.
sometimes those things can battle each other and you be
Uh
like, but
huh.
I like that, but that voice don't suit it. You know
Yep.
what I
Yep.
mean?
Someone told me they said just because you can sing doesn't mean you can sing everything, and I was just like,
Listen.
I took that and was like, that changed. That definitely changed the way I saw my own music and really guided me in saying, okay, what is your sound? Because
Mm-hmm.
and I had to regroup because what I thought wasn't, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that's where I am now.
So what steps are you taking? Like, are you what sounds, what genres are you playing in to try to discover where you actually fit in?
I've really, really, really as of late, been really studying rock and roll.
Ooh, come on
Yeah,
now.
so specifically 60s, 70s,
Oh,
and 80s rock. Well, I should
okay.
say specifically 70s and 80s rock,
Okay.
with some funk, and of course, at the root of me is soul. So
Yeah.
you know, and having that, I always where I see myself, and I don't try to compare myself to anyone, but where I see myself is somewhere in between Lenny Kravitz and Maxwell.
Ooh,
I feel like
okay.
that's my zhush, that's my lane, that's my
Okay.
sweet spot where I can just sit in
Okay.
my sauce and just do me because it's something about rock music that just always speaks to me. It always just moves me, motivates me, just inspires me, and of course, soul is just that's my foundation. So
Yeah.
I've been really, that's what I've been listening to. Writing styles. I've been just trying to listen to a lot of soundscapes and try to figure out where would I place lyrics, how much would I say in this, because I also want the music to be just as much a part of the production, be just as much a part of my song than what I'm saying. Sometimes the music can
Yeah.
say it better,
Yeah.
or an ad lib can
Yeah.
say it better than a word. So just trying to just experiment and see how can I be innovative and still be authentic.
That's amazing. And I hope anybody that's listening, this is you are really taking a lane to artists develop yourself. If y'all hear this fire alarm that's going on, the ambulance is running by. If y'all heard it, that's real life. You know how we do. Okay? That's real life.
It's a moment.
Okay. But I love the fact that you as an artist, you are taking the time to essentially artist develop yourself. You know what I mean? These are the things that what they used to do back in the days with artists, they used to really just sit them in a studio and try out all of these different sounds and see what makes sense with people's voices, see what feels brought the energy up, and then later on they would take them into if that particular artist was dancing or stage presence, and they bring them into that lane, and then it was like, okay, let's get this packaging together. What the style gonna
Right.
look like? You know what I mean? So I appreciate that as an artist because we don't have that a lot right now,
Nope.
and everybody is quick to just put out music, without really understanding who they are as an artist. And then
Mm-hmm.
so what happens is that, while you're getting into an artist, all of a sudden that artist might discover themselves and really understand what their sound is by third album.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then it's
Exactly.
like, okay, but I really like what you did on your first album. You just ran away from your first album, and I was here with you. I
Yep.
remember there was this line that SZA said that she said that she had kind of stumbled into singing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And being an artist, and she didn't really know exactly what her sound was. And so that was intriguing to me because she was saying that her first few projects, she was still experimenting. She was still trying to figure out what it was until we got to Control. And then she really realized what she wanted to sound like sonically.
Mm-hmm.
And for one thing, I was like, okay, that's dope that you took the initiative to find who you were, but who was your team that didn't help you develop and find that sound
Right.
before you even started recording,
Right.
So I commend you for that. I
Yeah.
truly, truly commend you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. I remember that too as well. Um, we think of different artists like that who also on the flip side who did take their time. They're
Yeah.
such a talented artist like her.
Yeah.
Listen, she's been doing this for a minute. She's been
Yeah.
doing it for a long time, and even then, she wasn't just putting out music. And we got
Right.
the volume one. It was just, we had that. We got to sit with that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even know what she looked like, but all
Okay.
that was going on behind the scenes. She knew by the
Right.
time she revealed who she was, she knew her sound. She had a
Yep.
good team behind her. She
Yep.
knew everything was set out, and it wasn't
Yep.
just thrown together, thrown out there just because I know what I have. I know I'm a good singer, so I'm just do whatever. Just throw it
Yeah.
all together. And I feel like a lot of artists today are doing that, and that's
Yeah.
just real.
Yeah.
So, like you
It
said,
is.
that artist development, people can say what they want about Puff, but listen,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when he does bring that product out, they're
Yeah.
developed. That
Yeah.
we don't know, we might not know what's going on behind the scenes, but
Right.
it's together. It's not thrown
Yeah.
together at all.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
one thing I can definitely agree with. Puff does know how to package a product.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're selling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You are a product. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, you have to know what colors is going to draw somebody down the aisle to pick up your box of material and want to make sure that they use it and come back and tell people about it.
Exactly.
You need to know exactly if the box is going to be shaped differently than other people's boxes.
Right.
You know what I mean? What that logo going to look like?
Right.
What if you're going to have, you know what I mean? Like all of those things are essential, and you taking the time to do all of that is commendable, especially in a time where we can throw out music
listen,
at any moment.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's incredible.
It's overwhelming as well. It can be overwhelming, because there's so much information and there's so many resources and there's so many ways you can learn and different ways of doing things, and even to the minor detail of things as far as like like you mentioned a logo, and how the branding of your brand, how would that look like? What does that look like? Like I think about all that and I try to write it down, which is a tip I got from you, writing everything down and taking notes. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, but one thing I remember you telling me is take it a step at a time. Yeah. Because if you take it a step at a time, you can really fine tune everything, and then move on to the next thing.
Yep.
And you'll see how it all connects at the end. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge. It's a challenge because you're essentially digging deep into yourself and you're understanding. And in that process of actually digging deep to find your brand, to actually know how to detail that for the public, you're learning even more about yourself. Right. It's a win-win situation, even though it's a little challenging.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Oh yes.
So what other challenges have you come across in this journey to artistry?
So we talked about as far as like branding and see where you fit in. Also, not comparing myself to other artists, upcoming artists as myself. Yeah. And not trying to rush my process. That's the challenges, because I see maybe seeing other artists who I feel like maybe I could do that as well. And being transparent, maybe I could do it better. That silencing those voices and those thoughts can be a challenge. Yeah. Especially when I'm in a place where I'm like, I can't, where I feel like I'm stuck, and I feel like, I feel like I need to push through this chapter, or this obstacle that I'm facing at the moment, whether it's finding my sound, and second guessing certain things, or having writer's block, those type of things are challenges for me, and so I get in my own way a lot of times when it comes to that. Gotcha. And also with writing, it's challenging because I have so much I want to say, and it can get kind of overwhelming because I feel very strong. My feelings are very strong, so sometimes that can be overwhelming. And the next thing you know, I'm like, I done wrote one line, and I'm just like, you know what? This song ain't about to be. I'm exhausted. The towel has been thrown in. No more. Yeah, I have so many songs like that where I'm just like, yeah, no, we're gonna do this another day. Yeah, maybe next year. Yeah, because it ain't looking how it's supposed to be looking. And then so I'm that artist and that performer. People who have seen me perform know I give it my all. Like I'm going to give you everything, all my sweat, my blood, my tears. I'm going to give it to you, and to the point where by the end of it, I'm drained. And I do that same thing, with my writing, because I want it to. 20 years down the line, I want to be able to still sing that and say these lyrics still have integrity. These lyrics still, because we go through seasons, we go through some of the same things throughout, no matter what age we are. But for me to be like 20 years down the line, and I might be back at that space, and like I can still sing that with all my heart and touch somebody else, because they're going through that same thing at the same time, because there's certain people who sing songs you like, you can't sing that 20 years down the line. And you wearing the Depends with your walker on the side of the stage. Right. No. So, I want my type of music, no matter if I'm mainstream or still indie or whatever I'm doing, to be able to stand the test of time. And so that, So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that your why? Is that your why you want to do music? Is to touch people?
It's a part of it.
Okay.
It's a part of it. That's I would say half of it. The one half is. The other half is it's me. This is a gift that was given to me. I didn't ask for it. And for me to not do it a disservice. This is the only way I know how to articulate my story and articulate these feelings that I'm feeling is through song, through lyric. So and it's a purge almost. I use that word a lot. It's a purge because I feel, like I said, I feel strongly about different things. I have these emotions. For me to be able to release that, it's a way for me to be able to exhale, and for me to be able to move on to the next stage or chapter or whatever it is in my life, and then look back at it and like, okay, I learned from that. That's where I was, and I know where I'm headed next. So I do it, and I got in trouble a lot for saying this, but I do
Go
it for
ahead.
me.
Let's go there.
I do. I
okay.
really do. I perform for me, and that's people look at me when I'm crazy when I say it, but I do it for me because sometimes I might be the only person listening, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But also the cherry on top of the cake, and the icing on that cake. I'm hungry. Is is the fact that people vibe with it and they love it and they're like, wow,
right.
we want more of that, or I see you,
mm-hmm.
and or you see me
mm-hmm.
from what you just said or what you just saying, or like
mm-hmm.
that adds to it, and it's like, wow, I'm really thankful. That makes me thankful that I'm not I'm not misusing my gift.
Yeah.
But I'm using it to better myself, but also to inspire other people,
Yeah.
whoever they may be.
I think that's something that's really quite funny that you said, that people see you once you hit the stage, because that's always been my dilemma and my understanding about myself as an artist. People
Really?
a lot of times, when I was shopping material to different record labels years ago, like it was the thing, like people were like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But as soon as we would invite them to a show or a venue, all of a sudden it was like, oh, okay, I completely understand who you are. And I realized that about myself, that I am one of those artists that's visual. You have to see my passion. You know what I mean? You have to see all of the elements. I have to hit more of your senses than just your ears, And I think that that's one of the reasons why I jumped into like cinematography and different things like that, because I realized that there's other colors to this that can paint your picture or paint your emotions, And I remember when I saw you perform, when you sent me that link, and I was like, Negro. And you was in there sweating, and you was in there giving it, you know what I mean? And I was like, I see you. I get this. There is this passion where you literally you leave the whole entire room, and it's just about you and that mic, and you releasing whatever is going to give you freedom in that moment. And it's beautiful to watch, because we all want to get to that place of freedom, of being authentically ourselves. And in that moment, when you're up on that stage, it's so beautiful to watch, because you are authentically yourself. And there's no fear in that moment. There's no second guessing. There's no doubt. There's no struggle. There's no anything. It's just you and that mic and that music and them notes and that heart and that passion. You know what I mean? And that's incredible. That's incredible. So continue to keep moving like that, because it's going to continue to touch people.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to try. I'm definitely trying my best. I really am. I really am. And you said something that made me think about the way you feel when you're on that stage, the way you're leaving whatever emotion you're feeling, and that you've let out. You're leaving that all out there on the stage, and you're giving it to the audience. One thing that always I thought about, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
When I listen to certain songs by certain artists, certain songs, they just, even it can be it's not a sad song or an angry song or a negative song, but you can feel something in that song where you're just like, it's not feeling right. Something about this is not. So I always thought about that growing up. I'm like, I don't know if this person was going through something, or if I don't know what it is, but the energy that was put into the song is on me. And music is it's the window. It goes straight to the soul, into the heart.
Yes, it does.
So
yes, it does.
yeah, so it's always been important for me throughout the process. I don't want to. If I get overwhelmed, I stop, because I don't want that negative energy in my lyrics. I don't want it.
Yeah.
If I'm singing it, if I'm crying, or if I'm, if I am purging, I'm not just stuck. And there's that type of negative energy. But if it's another type, and I'm just like, I don't want to put that in the song, because that can be translated to someone else, and they won't receive that message the way they should. And that those things, I even think about things like that, because I know how I am as a listener, as a lover of music, as a consumer of music, a student of music. I feel it all. So I try to dig deeper than just the lyrics and the harmonies and the melody and the whatever is in that song.
Yeah, because everything is energy. Everything is energy.
Everything.
And everything can be transferred. I'm the same exact way when I'm in the studio. If I start to get a little frustrated, or if I feel like, I'm no longer connecting to that song, I stop immediately, because I don't want that to be transferred to anyone,
Yep.
I feel the exact same way. And it's also that way on stage too.
Yep.
Because
you better believe it.
Because you can change a whole atmosphere if you not synced, and you can change it to a negative one.
Oh, yes.
Or you can have everybody uplifted, dancing, losing their minds, forgetting where they are. It's energy. It's energy at the end of the day.
And we hear different stories about different artists or singers who got songs and they didn't necessarily like them at first. They feel like it didn't fit them as an artist. They felt like Tony Braxton didn't really care for "Unbreak My Heart" at first.
I know, right? Isn't that an incredible story? But she sang the mess out of it.
Oh my goodness, did like it's. You hear so many songs. They're like, I couldn't stand that song. I couldn't stand it. Tina Turner couldn't stand "What's Love Got to Do with It" at first. Yeah. But we saw what they did with it.
Right.
Once they took that chance and took that those suggestions of just trying it. That has been a challenge for me. Because since I started to really understand the way my voice worked, and really started to learn what the music that I wanted to sing, and this is just doing covers.
Gotcha.
But I really know, okay, this is my style. This is the type of style that that I'm influenced by. I always got a lot of pushback because other people heard me sing. They saw me in a different way. They saw me as this type of artist. Oh, I used to get called Baby Luther so much, and I'm just like, that's Paw, but I'm not about to I love Luther.
Right.
Listen, I love me some. Listen, I will be a bad boy.
Okay.
Every now and then. Sometimes it is never too much, but this chair will still stay a chair.
Home, but
listen, but over here, listen, I'm not about to be giving that, because that's not what I'm feeling. What I'm feeling at this moment is a little sweet as taboo. What I'm feeling at this moment is a little come together, if you will. So it's like I've always been that person. Like I don't see myself in just one way. I don't see myself. But also trying to find that balance in taking suggestions, because what the suggestions that even you feel like that person doesn't really know who you are, and they're just not getting it, who you are as an artist. Try it, because that might be what you need to take you to the next step. And it's a learning process as well, because you're like, okay, maybe the way you're singing in that song that they're suggesting is the way you've never sung before, but it unlocked something else. So that has been a learning experience as well, taking suggestions, because people knew me like, I got a request for you to sing.
And you like, just leave it in the box.
First of all, there's not a box. I'm like, oh, and it's like, I'll try not to be, you know, I'm doing it in jest right now, but
right.
It's like, that was one of my biggest pet peeves, because it was just like, you want to hear that song, you can play the song.
Yeah.
They sing it way better than me anyway. But that's not the thing. It's that give and take. That might be something that they feel in their spirit. Like, okay, that's what I want to hear from this person.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stopped doing requests a long time ago, and I was like, how this gonna be whenever I get my own music? They be like, I want you to sing something from the EP back in and I'm like, I'm all the way in this spot, and but then I look at it and I'm like, I'm also that type of singer. Like, people know I love Dawn Rashad from, you know, Danny Kane, Dirty Money. Dawn has music on music, and whatever era she's in, she's going to perform that type of music. And I'm just like, Dawn, you haven't sung nothing from this album, and I'm upset because I wanted to see this, I wanted to hear this,
right?
And to this day, to this day, Beyonce has sung every song on 4 except for Start Over. That's one of my favorite songs on 4.
Listen, and she just won't.
And she won't. I said, that song has done something to her. She said, I'm leaving it right there.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know.
And it's like, I don't know what it is, but she won't touch it. She won't touch it.
And just the fact that I know how it would sound if she sung it live, because she sung down on that song.
Right.
And it's just like, no, I'm good. You get Rather Die Young, though. No, I'm good.
Right.
You can get I Miss You, though.
Right. But you know what? It's so funny because there are those songs, even in my own catalog, that I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm not going.
We can speak on it.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to sing that live.
Because you already know how I feel. You already know how I feel. When you start touring and I come to them shows, and if it's not in that set list, I'm going to be upset. And I'm going to come out. I ain't going to say the song, because you know what my song is off
right.
Ain't on that song.
Right.
On that set list. But I get it. You have a vision.
Yeah.
And you got to respect it.
Yeah. And it's sometimes, I know for me, sometimes I don't want to go back to that story. Then other times, if I've realized that it wasn't as much of a popular song, I will take it out of a set list. You know what I mean? And then now I've gotten into the mode of when I do my live shows, I'll snippet songs. I will take a second verse out of a performance in a heartbeat, and it will go right to the bridge. Say less.
But that's an idea. I never thought. Listen, you better
listen. You give yourself a medley, and people are all satisfied, and you sing the full songs of what everybody truly wants.
Yes. Listen, if you don't sing all verses in the bridge, people will be heated. They will. And they will.
Right. So I will take a second verse out in a heartbeat. So, and people don't even notice. And that's the funny thing about it. Nobody will ever notice because they're just so engrossed in the performance itself or whatever you're doing. So it's just like, it's an easy getaway. It's an easy getaway.
Not the cheat sheet. Because I'm taking notes.
Okay. I kind of learned that from Beyonce, no shade, because she good for giving you just a chorus and walking off the stage and changing her clothes and come back and be like, all right.
And then somehow you feel oddly satisfied, like I got everything I needed, but at the same time I feel like I'm missing something. Like
yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Okay. But to go back about just challenging yourself when it comes to, especially just being in the studio. I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all watching this, I am swiveling in this chair. Y'all know how I get to getting. But just to challenge yourself, there's been times when I've been in the studio with A Nat, and he will give me some type of run to do, and I'll be like, I will look at him with a side eye and a mean face and be like, bitch, that's not what's going to happen on today. And he'll be like, you can do it. And I'll be like, who said that? Who told you?
Sir,
because God didn't drop that in my spirit.
We don't wear the same shoes. You can run.
Okay.
All the way over there.
Okay, I came here in boots. I didn't come here in running shoes. Okay,
these boots are made for walking, not for not running. Stop playing with me.
It's funny though, but then sometimes I would be like, okay, I'll hear it, and I'll be like, okay, I like that. I'll challenge myself. And then the next thing you know, I'll be like, oh, wow, I actually did it. Yeah. And then it's on me to practice because you're going to have to do that sucker live. So yeah, like that riff on check on me. Listen, that took several takes. Okay.
Oh, but you got
several takes. Okay. That was directed. Okay. That was it. All right.
The directed
and
take.
I had to figure out how to put my heart into it. You hear me? You hear me? And then it was like, once it was done and mixed down, and I was like, okay, now it's time to rehearse this bad boy because people gonna expect that one. That's a part, you know?
Oh, you better believe it.
So, you know, and that's a whole other side to artist development. Like we can get into rehearsing and understanding the dynamics of a song and understanding what sections like people truly, truly want to hear. Mm-hmm. And I tried to run away from certain things in that song too, but A-Nat had to pull my coattail. He was like, don't you, you leaving out that big riff. Like you can't do that. Like you need that runner there. Don't be running away from that.
You're working hard for it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
But that's what it's about.
Are athletes. Musicians really are athletes because, I mean, they don't call it vocal acrobats for nothing.
Listen.
So it's a matter of doing it in the right place at the right time. The amount of vocal acrobats that you do, that's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call myself a runner, but every now and then when I'm in that mode,
you can take off.
I don't know what I do.
Okay, you could take off.
I never know what I do.
Yeah, same. There's been times I've been recording and I'll be like, I don't know how I did that, and I have to break it all the way back down all over again.
That's what I hate about demos sometimes, because I'm doing demos and I do it's a certain nuances that I do, and I try to duplicate that whenever I record it. And I'm just like, I can't do that. I don't even know how. And I practice, trying to distort my voice. I'm like, I'm gonna go horse trying to do this small thing that I love, that I hear, and that people really not gonna pay attention to unless you are a music person. It's like,
I'm in the middle of recording a song currently right now where I'm trying to do the second verse because the first verse was such a vibe, and it was such like my tone was right, like I was giving everything I needed to, and then I got into that second verse because at that moment I couldn't write the second verse, and so it was like a week later, and now the lyrics came to me, and it's time to record it, and I'm like, I can't match the same tone from that first verse, and I'm like, shit, like what is happening? And so I had to keep singing the first verse over and over again until I actually matched it, and then I was like, okay, I can move it up a little bit, so I don't have to be exactly that tone, but at least have a little bit of that essence. And it's hard to do certain things like that. Yeah, it definitely is a science, and that's understanding your voice, like you said earlier. You know, knowing your limits, knowing how to get there, and sometimes it takes a little time, and not being frustrated with yourself. You know what I mean? And understanding that that's part of the game, that's part of the artistry, that's part of recording. Because I know for me, I'm one of those recorders where it's just like sometimes I can record a song in one sitting, and sometimes I can't, and I will be like, nope, ad-libs will be done tomorrow. Because I got through all of these other things. This bridge will be recorded the next day. Like Michael used to do the same thing. Michael used to come into the studio, and he'll be like, "I'm a good day. This is a good day for verses, and this is all we laying down." And then he will drop them headphones, and he will leave that studio. And then he will call them engineers when he was ready to do them hooks, ready to do them bridges, you know, and ready to do them ad-libs. And that's why every single record is so consistent and so beautifully done.
Yes, but I think that's working smart. Some people think, oh, well, you're not working hard enough because you're not in the studio for 14 hours and you're not. First of all, working smart is working hard. I don't know. I don't know who you talking to.
Yes, it is.
So, you know, it's taking care of your voice, not doing too much, getting rest. Because like Michael is Michael, so that's a busy man. Ain't no telling how much sleep. Well, that's another subject. But ain't no telling how much sleep he was or wasn't getting. Right. But you know, with like somebody like me, I'm not booked. Like you got dates and things of that. Now I'm just, but still, you know, I have to keep that instrument up. So if I'm recording, I know what my max is, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop here. That way I'm not overdoing it, and we'll come back tomorrow or not. But I'll come back to it.
Listen, sometimes it's a good healthy start.
Yes,
okay, and then that start has to be shelved, and you might come back to it.
And it might.
Might.
That record that I started on the end of last year that I let you hear,
right,
or the beginning of this year.
I think it was the beginning of this year.
Still ain't done.
But listen, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Because something's gonna happen. It's gonna trigger that moment, and you can be like, okay, I got all my feels now. This is about to be a hit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny. I just did another episode, and I was talking about because I'm also doing some writing. I'm working on a side project. Yes. Not quite sure if I want to, expose the details, but I am doing this side project, which is requiring me to write. And I went on masterclass, and I love the author Neil Gaiman. I think he is a prolific writer. His imagination is like crazy insane. His word usage and how he explains different things and details everything is just beautiful. So he had a masterclass, and I was going through his masterclass, and he said sometimes you get a bunch of ideas and you might want to start something, and that's okay. And he was like, create a compost heap for yourself. And I was like, that's an interesting way of putting it. Like, I have a notebook that's full of different things. I have one of my note pages on my phone that's full of ideas. You be, just walking or playing around with friends or whatever, and you're just like, oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. That's actually a good idea. You write that down real quick, and you just keep it moving. But I never heard it being called like a compost heap. And he was like, so what you do is, he was like, you collect all those ideas and you let it collect and collect and collect and collect, and it'll rot down and it'll become something that will be new soil to an even greater idea. Ooh. And so I was like, okay, if that wasn't a word, I was like, Shaba. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And now I literally use that, and I'm happy that it's like I have this new classification for it, because before it was just like my book of ideas, or, you know what I mean? Just some ideas that I got on the side. But compost heap gives it a different color. Yeah, you know what I mean? It makes me feel like it's magical. Like I'm putting that bitch in a cauldron or something. And I'm like, so that's what we need. And sometimes those songs, they will find their time. They will find their time.
That. The songs will find their time.
Yes, they will.
I love that. That is so true. That is so true. Because those are our babies. And some babies don't come when you want them to.
Listen.
They don't.
Sometimes they delayed, sometimes they premature. So
yeah. And
sometimes you gotta cut them suckers out. So
sometimes you just gotta drop the pen. Yeah. Step away from the mic. The song is done.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that you say that. And this is not even about music, but I've been watching a show on Netflix called Glow Up. It's like, I never thought I would like a show like this, but it's about makeup. Britain's next makeup star. But it's a lot of times where, they're artists, makeup artists. Yeah. So they might start off with a beautiful idea, and they're executing it in a great way. But then you might see that they might do one thing, and you see the judges on the panel go, oh, they went too far. They should have stopped. They should have stopped. Wow. And you see, once they get their critiques, and then the judges bring it up, and you might see one of the MUAs go, I knew it. So they told me to stop. And it made me think about when I put together shows. Now, my shows aren't original because I'm still working on original music, so I do covers.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things, which is sequencing. Oh, I will sequence that bad boy.
Yeah, you have a gift for this. You really do. It's a gift. Yes, it is truly a gift.
Oh, thank you.
You are very welcome.
And then I'll hear another song, and I'm just like, oh, and I would add that. Oh, but that'll fit good here. So I've reworked this whole show when the original set list of that show was perfectly fine. And I was good with it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. And I hear a few other songs. And so instead of making a different show with that song in there, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to add it in here. I'm just going to add that in here. And by the time you get done with it, you're like, yeah, that's not what I wanted it to
be.
And I had a show where I did that. And to this day, I can't really watch that show. I have footage of it. I'm just like, I can't. It had good songs in it. But what it started off as.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And I was like, I should have kept it. But it's a learning experience. I can't do anything.
No, yeah, definitely.
You know? And so now I know going forward, I make my shows shorter. And I stick once it feels good in my gut, I stop. And if there's songs I want to add, I put it into another show. Yeah. Or, you know, whatever else. There might be another opportunity where I can sing that song. But, you know, knowing when to stop and knowing when to trust your instinct and your gut is it's so key. Because when I start to sequence my own records, and I'm just like, I was reading something about Chloe, she's been saying that her album is done. And someone asked her, the new songs that she's been recording, has she been wanting to add that into the track list? She was like, I have, but I'm trying to just step back from it, let it go, and just leave it where it is, and you know. But
it's sometimes it's so vital to know when to stop. I've had those shows too where I'm just like, why'd I add that additional song? It didn't need that. Like, you know what I mean? And then when you put the footage up, like I cut stuff out. Like I am good for editing. Okay,
listen, come on now.
I will cut it out in a heartbeat and be like, those people got that experience, okay? But everybody else won't see all of this extra.
You'll get them scissor scenes because them scissor game was strong. He said, snip. Snip.
Exactly. And you got to know when to stop. It's funny too because I go back to different projects and there's certain songs where I'm just like, yeah, okay, that was too many backgrounds. Maybe I could have cut that out. You know what I mean? There's certain songs, certain projects even too where I was like, it didn't need these 3 songs. I was just satisfying my ego at this point, and it really didn't need that, you know? And so it's a learning experience to really listen to your gut. And it's because we always want to do more. We always think that more is our best when more isn't our best, you know? Less is always more. It always is. And just like when I get up on a stage and even when it comes down to cutting out the second verse, less is more because I want to get on that stage, hit it and quit it. And I want people to want more. You know what I mean? Want the audience to have the opportunity to say, if they do want more, they can be like, encore. Right. But if you don't give them that opportunity and you hitting them over the head with massive music, it's like, baby, they be like, okay, when are they going to get off there? They got how many more songs? Because I've been at those shows where it's like, okay, they singing how many songs? You point, baby, you didn't really need to do that.
You went through the whole discography and you decided to go to do your SoundCloud songs as well. I didn't ask for that, sir. I didn't need it.
Listen.
But thank you. Money's worth.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, was it a challenge for you? Because first of all, you can sing not only in the studio, but you can sing live. The mic is on.
Thank you, sir.
It's on. It
always.
Testing. No.
1 2 1 2.
You can do. So how was that? How was it executing that? Like learning how to sing, because you know, singing live and singing in the studio is two different
beats. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So how did you find that? Those voices.
It's actually, for me, it's a continued learning process, you know, because as you grow in the studio, you have to now transition on stage, you know, when it comes to even like this new project, I haven't really done too many live performances of this because I'm honestly still trying to find my placement and what this looks like on stage, you know. I do have certain songs where I feel really comfortable with. but yeah, it's a transition and it's growth. And because I can't pull from my usual tools and box of tricks, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
on stage with this particular project, with this particular project makes me know that I'm growing. And it's a good thing, you know,
Yeah.
because if I can still pull from those tricks, then
Yeah.
I'm not giving anybody anything different, and I'm not giving myself anything different. So
True.
it's a continual growth. Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked it because I started just performing first. I didn't start in the studio. You know, there's some artists,
Yeah. Yeah.
they've been singing in the studio since they were like 3 years old.
Right.
I
Right.
didn't have
Right.
that.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, I learned how to sing and I won't say perfected my craft, but fine tune, like I'm continuing to fine tune my craft and my instrument through use in on the stage. So when I get into the studio and I'm recording, it's like I have, which I'm working through. There's some growth
Mm-hmm,
happening,
mm-hmm.
but recording anxiety because I'm just like
Got you.
I can't be like Fantasia all in the
Yeah.
mic
Yeah. Yeah.
because you know that's you know that's not the same thing, and you know
Yeah.
I go for it live. But in the studio, you're gonna have to, and I'm learning like okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning my voice in that way. You know,
Okay.
it's like okay, I can give it, I can give this, or I can do this, or learning how strong my head voice is without pushing. I didn't know that I could do that. And I'm just like, oh, you know, so yeah. I asked different singers that, oh, I know can sing live as well as singing in
Mm-hmm.
the studio because we know
Mm-hmm.
there's ones who
Yeah.
studio is their friend, and they
Yeah.
hit that
Yeah.
stage and you're
Yeah.
just like,
And you're like, yeah. Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
that is who I learned from. Like, okay, they kill it in the studio,
Yeah.
they can kill it. Now, how can I
Yeah.
learn from them? You
Right.
know how to
Right.
really give it in the studio because that's one of my weakest. You know, that's one of my weakest
It's
spots.
it's interesting because what I started doing with what I realized was the essence of how I record is that and this was during Cosmic, was that my ad libs towards the end of the song, I have to give a live feel, even though it's all recorded and there's no like big band transitions and all kinds of other things like that. Might be a
Mm-hmm.
few drops here and there, you know, a couple of instruments taken out to kind of give that impression. But I realized that sometimes a simple woo or a simple yeah, or you know what I mean, these
Wow.
little things
Wow.
add to that essence of giving that live feel. So it translates better on stage even
Yeah.
more because it's almost subliminal for an audience and a listener. Like they're like, oh, like they feel like they're already getting the live experience.
Yeah.
And this is something that I actually learned from like Tony Braxton and artists like that would be like, because Tony Braxton is good for a woo, you know what I mean?
It
Like
is.
after okay, okay. And so like, and those little nuances are key when recording because number one, it allows the audience to connect with you because in that moment you're feeling it, you know, and they need that recorded
Yeah.
moment. And then on stage, it makes them also feel like, you know, this is a moment that you're going to get live and it becomes something that they're already ready for. So, yeah, it's already there.
These nuggets. I hope y'all listening because I told y'all his mic is on, not just when he's singing. Wow. Wow.
So there's little things as you learn your voice and as you learn who you are on stage and as you learn who you are in the studio, you'll be able to find that bridge, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
connect the two. One of the things that I noticed that was beautiful, you mentioned Fantasia when she did When I See You,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everybody was like, it was such a simple song for Fantasia. She wasn't on the recording going, like,
No.
you know what I mean?
No. Yeah.
She wasn't doing any of it. And I was like, somebody in the studio, whoever the vocal producer was on When I See You, they were like, yeah, let's bring this tone down and let's just give something that can just be simple to listen to. And then
Uh-huh.
on stage, you know, we give them a few moments at the end. Just a few moments at the end. We're gonna give just a little hint of a grunt because we know that that's what people want. But let's keep it simple. So this way on stage, when that band start warming up and they start going in the vamps, it feels even better because it's already something that has connected. And now from that point on in Fantasia's career, she knew how to translate herself on record.
Yes. Oh yes.
As opposed to translating that live sound onto record. That doesn't, because after a while, you don't want to hear that all the time, but you want that moment live. You want Fantasia to slap you in the face with them vocals.
Come on now. Like, you want that lip quiver. You want the lip quiver. You want them shoes kicked off.
And that accent.
Get out. But I want it. No.
Okay.
But that, oh my goodness. This is what we do anyway, because you say something and just, that is one of my, I would say, perfect examples of someone who didn't stay in the same, if you really pay attention, who didn't stay in the same place, because Free Yourself, she gave Fantasia from High Point, singing in a church. That's what she gave every single song. Into her self-titled, to the next album, like When I See You was the lead, not wasn't the lead single, but it was the biggest single from that album. But I'm thinking of different songs that she sung on like 2 Week Notice, like I Feel Beautiful, where she gives those intimate moments, and Fantasia wasn't giving it like that.
Yeah.
So Back to Me was when she really found her sound and what it is, what she's doing now. Right. To Side Effects, to Definition of, to Sketchbook, like from Back to You to Sketchbook, Fantasia was I feel like was in her stride, and she really was like, this is my sound. But she get, like you said, she can give those moments, but you saw dynamics. You didn't see just one way of performing. Yeah. To when she translated on the stage, she gave it to you. She hit you over the head with it, and it was another experience. Shoes off and
it was serious. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I watched I watched Fantasia live one time and was in complete awe, and I was like, this, I don't understand how you go into worship off of these songs. Like, it was like, and this audience was losing their mind, and it was something so incredible to watch because she had changed the whole atmosphere in that auditorium, and I was just like, this is insane. This is insane. You know,
Fantasia Monique, listen, that is a one of a kind. Like, that's someone who will be here. Yeah, that's now. When I say, and
she don't get enough flowers to me.
She really doesn't, because the way, this is who your faves want to tribute for them. Do a tribute for them. Okay, like, this is who. Come on now, Shaka, Aretha, Babyface. Like, these are different people. Like, who say, I want Fantasia to be one of those who are going to do my tribute, or if they even have a choice. Okay. You know, and every time she does, she's in that lineup of doing a tribute, turns it out. Yep. Like, it just shifts after Fantasia hit the stage.
Hands down. You
know, so yeah, that's what I aspire to give, that feeling when I do my covers, to give that feeling like, gotcha. Which is why, like, I don't sing the typical covers that, like, I sing the song that even the artists don't still sing their songs like that, or they start
right. That's facts.
Listen, that's because I want people to automatically be taken back to a good time in their life where they're just like, whoa, like, and looking at me like, what you know about that? There'll be so many times that got you weren't even alive when that song came out. What you know about that song? What you know about the song, Young Blood? What?
Right.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, I know. Okay. And so do you.
Okay. You know. I know through and through what these lyrics mean. That's why I'm up on this stage singing this. Okay? Understand? Yes. That's why you connected.
Yes. I think my last, I'm sorry, because I don't want to.
No.
But I realized too, and that's what I'm also learning, I've always been that B-side kid. Like, I love the B-sides. The singles are off, the singles are the singles. I've always been that indie type kid, and I've always been that B-side type kid, not just where I'm just like, oh my goodness. And every single time I realized I wasn't the only person who loved this song. Like, this wasn't a single. Case in point, When You Touch Me off of Full Moon.
Yeah.
I didn't know other people. Listen, oh yes, I didn't realize that I was the only person. That I'm not the only person who loves this song. Rescue from Shanti's first album.
Mm-hmm.
And people who haven't heard that song, you might want to to me, that's one of Ashanti's best. That was one of her biggest album, her debut, which had Baby, had Foolish. It had all that on it. But that Rescue was something serious.
Yeah.
And I could go down the line of I feel like our B-sides, just the way it sounds, and they're not what the artist or the label wanted them to, But come to find out, they're the artist's favorite songs. And I'm just maybe my ear is not crazy. Maybe, and that's what the type of music that I want to play. I don't want throwaway songs. Yeah. I want, in a way, for every single one of my songs to be my B-side. Could be a B-side, or it sound like a B-side. And you're just like,
timeless music.
Yeah, yeah. It just, that same feeling, I that's what I wanted to give.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Timeless music is something that I don't think we focus on anymore, and I think that's why the degree of music has changed. Yeah, we have those hits and different things like that, that will stand the test of time. Like there are certain songs that will last forever, but that will be played in like a DJ set or something. Mm-hmm. But we don't have like those timeless songs anymore, at least especially like in R&B music, or at least on the higher end of R&B music, the stuff that is still being played, you know what I mean? We don't have a lot of that, and so and it's key. There's a formula in a sense to writing some timeless music. You have to watch what slang you use, what current phrases, you know what I mean, because there's certain things that's not going to last, which will automatically make that song dated. There's a certain vulnerability that goes into something timeless, like Unbreak My Heart is a timeless song, you know what I mean? It will last forever.
It really would. It really is. Because it's lasting. I just want to say, not just because I'm on here with you. I'm not just saying this because you already know how I feel. I ain't about to say something just to say it. But Brother Responsible in the back of the Congregation of Warrior, he's timeless. Justice for Responsible. Justice for
not a hashtag.
Remind Us.
I can't.
Justice for Secret. Because to me, I mean, the whole out, like from top to bottom, because I just want to talk about this real quick, and I'll shut up. It's your show. This is your show. We're on Cosmic Radio, but I'm just saying, to me, that album gave that feel of like each song could be a B-side, each song could be a single, and I love that. That's what I love, because like, the music nerd in me is just like, sonically, I'm just like I had a bunch of chocolate. Because it's just like, oh my goodness, it made me so excited. It inspired me because it's a cohesive body of work, first of all, but also I could take 5 songs from there and be like, okay, this is the EP, this is the part, but also they could stand to be like each song could be a single. But
thank you for that.
Listen, you're just scratching the surface of this era. I just feel, and Justice for Responsible. So
we gonna get back into it. Trust me, we gonna get back into it. Because I had some back end complications, Okay. But come the new year, I'm putting together a brand new plan to breathe some life back into, we're gonna resuscitate Warrior the way that it needs to be resuscitated.
I have a question too.
Yes.
Are we going to get Warrior merch?
Yes, there are a few items on Shop on Shop LH.
Listen, because I haven't. Listen, I'm falling off.
Yeah, there's a few things there, and there will be some more things that are coming. Yes.
Okay, I'm a little, because I got a little check coming, so you gonna take these coins? I ain't.
I love you, Zook. All right, so we are going to close this, but before I get into my game with you, I want to know, who are you listening to currently?
Okay. You guys. Okay, Lenny Harold.
Oh, don't ask me off that.
Okay. I've been listening to Paris. It's spelled Pvris.
Okay.
It's a band. I forget the lead singer's name. Oh my god, but I love it. It's a song called Anywhere But Here. Fire. Oh goodness. Of course, Chloe. Killboy. She's like rock pop, like alternative, like, but she got it's a little hip hop in it a little bit. Oh goodness. I've been put onto some K-pop recently, so La Seraphim. Okay, yeah, and of course Dawn. I love my Dawn. I love my Dawn. Love my Tinashe. But Kenyon Dixon. Oh gosh, Kenyon. Her name is Isa.
That album's dope.
She just came out with a new single. Oh goodness. And I think her project's coming soon. But as far as like new artists, but like I said, really I've been listening to like a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of Aerosmith, Phil Collins, Beatles.
Okay.
Oh gosh, it's a lot. A lot of rock. Eagles.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Your play is diversified, and I love it. That's the way we all should be as artists. We should be listening to more things than just what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm in school right now.
Do our homework. Yeah, I see. The university. All right, so we're going to get into this game. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, this is 10 questions, all right? 10 questions.
Are they like spit, like you got to answer them fast?
Well, essentially, I want the first thing that kind of comes to your mind.
Okay. I'm not going to overthink. Okay.
Favorite album?
Okay. Best of Sade. The like beige color is just her head on it.
Yeah. You know what? That's really smart. You went for a best of. That wasn't even
on purpose. That wasn't even on purpose. If I had to choose an album, it would be Destiny's Child self-titled. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their first album, their very first album.
Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Starbucks. I'll choose Starbucks, even though they're expensive because I don't eat Dunkin'. They're too sweet. So too sweet or too expensive. We'll coin. Starbucks.
Okay. Headphones or earpods?
We'll say pods, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. TV shows or movies?
TV shows. Come on.
Okay. Playlist or albums?
Ah! Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you done made me mad. Oh, because I have like hundreds and hundreds of playlists. I mean, come on. You wouldn't have playlists without albums. So albums, period. Top to bottom.
Okay.
Albums.
Okay. Favorite artist?
Sade.
Okay. Walgreens or CVS?
Walgreens.
I know that's right. Cartoons or anime?
Cartoons.
You better hit these high notes. Batman or Superman?
Oh, please. Batman.
I know. And our last question is home cooked meal or going out?
Home cooked meal.
All right.
Feeling like it.
Thank you so much, Zook, for coming on to Cosmic Radio. Let everybody know where they can contact you, where they can find you, where they can look you up, and let us know what's happening with you.
Listen, okay, so I am on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, Zook the Kid, ZOOK, period, the kid with 2 D's. And then Twitter, Zook the Kid, ZOOK, THEKIDD. No spaces, no punctuation.
Yes. All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cosmic Radio. We so appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to like, share, and follow, and comment, and tell your friend, uncle, cousin, and your mama, sister, and all of that good stuff. And until next time, move in love, share your light, and be on purpose. All right? Go out and hug somebody. You know how we do. We share this love, baby. We share this love.